Chevelle is getting a new transmission. It's getting a new clutch, and it's getting a new flywheel. So the reason why we're swapping from a TKO 600 to a TKX is because this one is a little bit better, right? And by better, I mean better for me. So the amount of clearance you have in the tunnel with this transmission is a lot more than this one. So you don't have to do any tunnel modifications. The ratios are exactly the same. So I don't remember, I can't recall exactly what they are. But I just know it's a 0.81 overdrive, and it's a close ratio transmission, right? But they weigh the same. Everything is exactly the same, but you can see here the width. So the tunnels are usually round, you know, and this right here, all this extra stuff on the sides are gone. So that'll help out a lot.
Yeah.
And then this plate here is actually a little more narrow. They deleted a lot of the features, like I think this is a torque arm setup here for the back tail shaft.
Oh yeah, for like Camaros and
yeah. So that we don't need that, obviously.
And this top plate is narrower.
Yep, that's narrower. Yeah, that's different. I know they put this breather port. They put it further up, close to the bell housing, so it won't interfere with the. You can actually see what's actually hitting the tunnel. See that? Well, I know. So this one's capable of about, I think they say 5,500 RPM shifts, and this one is capable of 8,000 RPM shifts. It has a double synchro, and I believe the carbon fiber. So this one's more performance oriented, I'd say.
This shaft. I don't know what that.
Oh, so this, I think that's a counter shaft there.
Oh yeah.
So this one actually leaked a little bit, so we're gonna have to put some silicone on that. But yeah, it's a new case design. They're both rated at 600 horsepower. Now, this is something I just learned. The rating is predicated on 100,000 miles. So it's 600 horsepower at 100,000 miles is what it is. So
it's too early. I can't figure that out.
No, so basically the warranty is like it's 100,000 miles, right?
Okay.
If you have a 600 horsepower motor behind this, it will last 100,000 miles. Right? That's their warranty. That's their claim, I guess you should say. Well, because if you're 1,000 horsepower, then it's probably gonna be like 40,000 miles, right?
Right.
Or 60,000 miles. But yeah, so that's the rating. I never really understood that. Like, how is it like still handling the power? So yeah, it's 100,000 miles. This one's not gonna last 100,000 miles. I can tell you that right now. It's gonna last maybe 10,000 miles, but you can rebuild it, right?
Yeah, it just depends on how you drive it.
That's how you drive it. So that's why we're changing it. And
basically
Andrew
telling me on video how you plan to drive it.
What?
Huh?
What?
Huh?
So this transmission is actually going. What prompted I guess additionally, what prompted us to do the swap is Andrew needs a training. So he's going from a 700 R4 in his K10 to a stick. Sticks are better in my opinion. They're more fun. It's like dancing with your car, right? Versus just sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So there's a lot more driver input when you're with a stick shift, and it takes more skill with a stick. Right. I wish my Can-Am was a stick.
I know,
it'd be cool. But it's not. So I ordered the McLeod RST clutch kit. The difference is, I don't even know how I even started thinking about this, but I think I was looking at the, so this is the old pressure plate, or the old clutch, and it's a little worse for wear. I just changed this 200, what would you say, 1,000 miles ago? When I put that new train in. About 1,000 miles ago, I changed this. It's not horrible, but it's been getting some abuse. It was slipping a little tiny bit. This is the old pressure plate. So this is it's a center force pressure plate. The one that I had in there, or actually this is the one I changed like 10 years ago. But I actually had a center force clutch, but it blew out the centerpiece at the track. So I went to a McLeod, and that seems to be holding up relatively well. So we decided to go with a twin disc. This is a lot better.
We?
Me.
Him, himself, and him?
Me and the Chevelle decided that we're gonna go twin disc. So as you can see, you have a tape measure?
Sure.
Get it.
So the diameter of this one is about 11 and a half. and this one from the crown to the crown is about 9.5. So it's a lot smaller. And they say the pedal effort on this is equal to actually less than stock. So that's actually pretty good. So this is these are the clutches, and as you can see, they're significantly smaller, but there's 2 of them instead of just 1. So they're doubling your frictional surface area. This one does not have any
What's the benefit of doubling your friction surface area?
You get more traction because it's more holding power, right? It doesn't have dampening springs in it, so it might be a little bit more rigid. So that's I guess maybe a drawback for street driving. But
So when you say there's 2, I only see 1.
So there's 1 underneath.
Oh, okay.
There's 1 underneath here.
This
one here. That's a clutch.
Okay.
I haven't taken that one off yet. But the good thing about the smaller diameter disc is when you go to shift, the synchro doesn't have to do as much work, because the closer the mass is to the center of the shaft, the less inertia it has. And the less inertia it has, the less easier it is to stop. So your shifts will be a lot faster because there's less mass outside that shaft area, right? Or the circumference of the shaft is further in. So that's a benefit, the weight and the diameter. And it has this cool billet adapter ring on here. Now, my old flywheel is, where'd it go? Right here. So this one was a 20-pound flywheel, which is a lighter, I think stock is 35. It's a 20-pound flywheel, and they cut weight here, and they cut weight on the backside. To show here. They cut it out really, really deep so they can cut the weight out of it. So that's a 20-pounder. And that actually worked really well with reducing the traction problems that I have. Because when you go to shift, they don't have all that momentum and inertia breaking the tires loose. I screwed up. I could not, I was going to run this on that flywheel, but this, the inner diameter is much smaller than this.
Okay.
So the clutch was hanging off by about a half an inch. I was like, shite. So what do you do when you have a problem?
Buy a new part.
You upgrade your parts. So I upgraded to an aluminum, well, what seemingly is an upgrade, we'll see. It's an aluminum flywheel. It weighs 16 pounds. It's about 7/8 of an inch thick. It's like...
We should clarify you're not getting paid from McLeod for this.
No. They don't even know I exist. So it's riveted. It has a steel ring riveted onto the aluminum surface, because you can't run aluminum on the clutch surface. But yeah, so that's the whole setup. And that's what's different, and we'll see how it works. My guess is it should work really well.
Oh, and you got hydraulic setup.
Oh yeah, where'd that go?
Really
So this is a hydraulic setup from, it's a Hydromax, I believe. Yeah, Hydromax. This is from American Powertrain. What I had in there before was a rollerized, like Z-bar setup that I custom made. But after going to Hot X Nights, woo.
Okay, so what's this for? I don't know.
So this actually actuates the clutch. It pushes in the clutch.
Oh, okay.
Before it was mechanical.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah, when I went to Reno, it was, my foot was in my leg. I was like, we got to go back, because they'll stop and go like 2 miles an hour, 1 mile an hour. Just it was rough. So I was like, I vow to change it when I get back. So that's what I did. So we upgraded. So we upgraded this, upgraded. So we did a lot of changes. I can't wait. It's like Christmas in October.
Yep.
You were gonna say it's not October, but it is. So we have the bell housing on. And by we, I mean I. The twin disc clutch is in, flywheel's on, everything's assembled. The bore, not scatter shield, I guess you call it scatter shield. The bell housing is concentric within 5/1000ths, which is good. Now it's just a matter of measuring the distance from the fingers of the clutch to the face of this, so I can determine what the distance needs to be for the hydraulic throwout bearing. So that's what I'm going to do now. It's an inch. So what I'm going to do is figure out what the depth is, and then compare it to the transmission. Alrighty. So that is 3.729 minus the height of the straight edge, so it's 2.729. So we need to measure from the face of this to this. Actually, just like that. Take this off. 3.524. The 2.524. It's 200 thousandths gap, which is pretty close. So we want between, they want between 150 and 100 thousandths of clearance between the face of this bearing and the fingers of the clutch. When the clutch wears out, the fingers actually start to stick out some. And if they don't have enough space, what can happen is it'll actually start to ride the clutch and then it'll start slipping. So I gotta make sure there. So we have 200 thousandths of clearance. So this should come with shims here. And these are 90 thousandths thick. So if I put one of these on, that is going to give us 110 thousandths of slop. So now I have to measure it again to see what the delta is. Let's see here. So what did we say before? All right. So 2.608. 0.729.
Subtract 2.608.
Subtract 2.608 equals 121 thousandths.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. All right, so we just finished the TKX transmission install and the McLeod RST twin disc clutch and the Ram billet aluminum flywheel. So now this run here is a lot different because we had a 20-pound flywheel to begin with, and the diameter of the diaphragm, or the
20 pound
clutch,
or 25?
It was 20.
Oh, really?
20 pound, and then the diameter of the clutch was like 11 inch, I believe. This one's like about 9. So the rotating mass can be a lot less. That, I think the combined weight is like 40 or 35 pounds, because the flywheel now is 15, the clutch is 20 with all the components. So so we got 35. Mm-hmm. So it's 35 pounds. Before it was like 55 pounds. So so that's where we're at on that. And then we also installed a hydraulic ram, or I didn't say ram, but a Hydromax from throttle bearing, hydraulic throttle bearing from American Powertrain. So then I bought a billet reservoir because the one that I had, it leaked a little bit. So then that was my excuse to spend a little bit of extra money on the Ring Brothers billet aluminum reservoir. So now it's time for a test drive. Pedal's a lot lighter, and it's not
You're taking off.